United States Navy, arriving. Lieutenant, United States Navy, arriving. Four 5th Army Field Support Brigade, arriving. Chief Ponder will now sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red lamp, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet to wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Command Master Chief Ponder will now deliver the invocation.
As I prepared to give this invocation, I wanted to say something to the woman of God. You took the time yesterday to speak life into him. And I'm glad I was there to witness. And I wrote this prayer specifically for you. Let us pray. Oh, great and merciful Father, we invite your glory into this place. Breathe life into us. Let your spirit boldly flaunt itself through us. That same spirit that moved across the waters, let it move and sit on our sister and her family. That same spirit that spoke to the mountain and commanded it to be cast into the sea is the same spirit that moved the mountain of naysayers who said that she will never make it. That same spirit that parted the way of the Red Sea for Moses is the same spirit she used to make a way out of no way for her sailors. That same spirit that called those things to be not as though they were is the same spirit, Father, that she used to call her great, even though she didn't even see that it was so. That same spirit, Father, that cast out demons, the spirit that made enemies tremble, the spirit that made adversity look it dared in the face and promised it would would never speak is the same I wish you would spirit that my sister possessed as she walked through the dark place. That same spirit that dwells in her, Father, now dwells in her son. And that same spirit, oh God, that blessed her in the valley, blessed her on the hill, blessed her in the field, blessed her going out, blessed her coming in, blessed her in season, out of season, when the tide is high and when the tide is low. That same spirit, oh Father, showered down and drenched her hands, laced them in purpose and direction. I ask you, Father, to let it be known and written down in stone that that Holy Spirit that reigned in her, that wonderful, merciful, Prince of Peace, way-making, bridge-building, heart-mending, soul-giving Spirit, Father, let it rest on all of us. In your most precious name we pray.
Amen.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce Lieutenant Phillips, M1, the Department Head, Mine Division 12.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I'd like to personally welcome all of the distinguished guests, but most importantly, I would like to welcome Master Chief Luter's husband, James, his sons, James Q, Trent, her bonus mom, Angie, her sister, Rusha, her brother, Jabalo, and his wife, Kat, as well as family and friends who have come from near and far to honor her 30 years of service to the Navy and our country. I also want to thank Master Chief Almonte for coordinating this ceremony and everyone else who participated to ensure she goes out with a bang. Master Chief, I'm honored that you asked me to be your presiding officer and share this very important day with you. Speaking of an important day, not only is she retiring today, on 1 September, a star was born. Or should I say, 2 stars for Master Chief. Happy birthday, Master Chief, and I wish you many, many more. Before I go any further, I want you to know that as much as I love you, I almost didn't make it here after you told me that I had to wear my choker whites. I was literally willing to lose a mentor and a friend if it meant me buying my choker white for the very first time. I've never spent so much time in the uniform regulations in my life. But I'm here, and I wouldn't trade this for anything in the world. Master Chief Luter enlisted in the Navy back in 1992. This was the same year that Ice Cube released his single, Check Yourself. Now, you know that song is definitely it fits her personality to a T that she does not play. Okay. She started off as a storekeeper, then converted to Navy career counselor that most of us know her for now. Her assignments were a mixture of shore and sea to include USS Shenandoah, hope I pronounced that right. Shenandoah. A destroyer tender that is now decommissioned. Naval Station Norfolk, Naval Air Station Whiting Field, Naval Air Station Sigonella, Naval Safety and Environmental Training Center, the mighty USS Harper's Ferry.
All right.
Naval EOD School.
Right.
Bonhomme Richard. Yep. In her last and final tour, Chief of Naval Personnel Support. Oh, can't forget the dive school in Panama, Florida. My apologies. Where y'all at?
Oh.
Wait. I want to scream.
Master Chief Luter is a servant, passionate, and dedicated leader who just flat out loves her sailors and has dedicated 30 years of her life, a lot of those away from her family,
Yes,
to
Lord.
developing and mentoring some of the finest sailors throughout the fleet. Some has commissioned as officers, others has joined the chief's mess,
All
and
right.
others continue to thrive in their respective ranks while continuing to work hard to make it to the next level. There are nothing but success stories from every sailor that she has mentored. Simply put, she demands success and expects nothing less. If you ever ask for advice, she will always give it to you straight. So don't give her the gun if you don't want her to shoot. Earlier I mentioned that she demands success. Well, let's take it back to 2010.
Uh-oh.
I first met NCC Luter at the time when I was a little snot-nosed YN2 that had never been stationed aboard a ship. So when I received orders to the Harper's Ferry, I was very nervous, not knowing what to expect. I reached out to the sponsor email address on the orders to introduce myself, and Chief Luter responded the same day. Not only did she responded with her expectations of me and literally had a list of goals that I shall accomplish in a time frame that she established. And trust me, it was not an option. I was sitting there thinking to myself, Lord, what have I done myself into? In fact, I brought with me that same list, my midterm counseling, and my first CDB that I received from Master Chief Luter.
Oh.
Those of you who know her know she loves the pink
That
pen.
pink pen. Oh, my goodness. Hope she was nice. Probably wasn't, but if it's in pink, ain't good.
I will not bore you all with the details, but I will say that becoming a chief and an admin LDO was on that list, both of which I achieved in record time because of the goals that she put in place that I didn't even think I could complete. One of the goals that she set for me was to complete my East-Wise qualification within 6 months. She mentioned this to some of you all yesterday, but please allow me to tell my story. I didn't think she really meant it literally when she said she needed me to complete that in 6 months. So in my free time, I would play video games at the office, and Spades on the mess deck, just like every normal sailor wants to do. Not on her watch. She was not having it. No matter where I was, she would always find me and say, if you ain't East-Wise qualified, you shouldn't be playing around. And then what she doesn't know, when she would walk away, I would just be like, but she stayed on me, and I actually was able to complete it in 5 months. So needless to say, that was the beginning of how she helped me get to where I am today. Master Chief, I'm very grateful for your guidance, mentorship, and support throughout the years. And congratulations on a remarkable 30 years of service. You should be extremely proud of what you have accomplished and the impact you've made on sailors throughout your career and making the Navy better as a whole. Your work is done, but the foundation that you set and your legacy will live forever in each one of us in this room and throughout the world. You will be sorely missed, and I pray that you and your family continue to be blessed. Hoo-yah should mate on a job well done.
Hoo-yah.
Lieutenant Phillips will now present Master Chief Luter Award and Retirement Certificate.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and military attention to the award. From the President of the United States, takes pleasure in presenting the Legion of Merit to Master Chief Navy Counselor, Surface Warfare, Aviation Warfare, Latonya Luter, United States Navy, for service as set forth in the following citation. For exceptionally meritorious service in the performance of outstanding service as a Fleet Career Counselor and Senior Enlisted Leader, Deputy Chief of Naval Operations, Manpower, Personnel Training, and Education. From January 2017 to September 2022, displaying exceptional leadership, she provided oversight and community advocacy for over 3,100 command career counselors Navy-wide and initiated reviews of ratings, entries, and conversion requirements. Her actions resulted in the first Armed Forces classification test update in 2 decades, a 15-year fleet conversion high, and the establishment of the inaugural MPT&E Career Counselor of the Year Award. Additionally, she spearheaded efforts between U.S. Fleet Forces, U.S. Pacific Fleet, and 22 type commands, immediate superiors, and command, revising numerous career development and retention instructions, standardization of the retention essence award, criteria, release of the first joint REA message in 5 years. Her mentorship resulted in the staff earning the fiscal year 2020 REA first in 6 years. As acting Fleet Master Chief, her decision-making directly impacted Navy policy executed, which affected over 345,000 active and reserve sailors and their families. Master Chief Luter, of honorable and dedication service by her dynamic direction, keen judgment, and loyal devotion to duty, Master Chief Luter reflected great credit upon herself and upheld the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. Signed, John B. Noel, Vice Admiral, United States Navy.
All right.
Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all who shall see these presents, greetings.
Greetings.
This is to certify that Master Chief Petty Officer Latonya Luter, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Navy on the first day of September 2022. Signed, Vice Admiral Noel, United States Navy, Chief of Naval Personnel. Please be seated. The Chief of Naval Personnel Supports Staff Chief Petty Officer Association will now present Master Chief Luter with her shadow clock.
Oh, man. Woo!
What do I do with my hands?
Wow. Turned out nice.
We usually get a shadow box. And I'm just so glad that y'all are lighting up. So, because it don't have to be stiff, y'all. If y'all are here, y'all know me, and I'm a loose person, so let's not be loose. We're going to follow protocol, but we can't be rigid. I want a shadow box. Yeah. Somebody, I go to And I converted to the best grade in the Navy. So that my family who ain't military can know what's going on.
Ever since we became an all-volunteer force in 1973, it became clear that we must not only increase retention by continuing emphasis on upgrading the attractiveness of a Navy career, but we must revitalize our recruiting efforts as outlined in Z Ground 109, signed out by CNO Amazon Wall, declaring that recruiting was a top priority. Z Ground 113, Admiral Zunwalt, directed the establishment of additional full-time career counseling billets, all at sea, with 200 or more enlisted billets, and I quote, "Individualized career counseling services have proven to be one of the most effective methods of ensuring that personnel understand the opportunities and advantages of a continued career service," end quote. Also recognizing the needs and demands of recruiting and career counseling, the Chief of Naval Personnel convened a special workshop to study the feasibility of a recruiting/career counseling rating. My fellow counselors, what concluded from that rating review board was the birth of the world's greatest rating, born on August 1st, 1973, and that is the Navy Career Counselor Rating. A couple weeks ago, Master Luter and I had a phone conversation, and I asked her, what year did you convert to Navy Counselor? Her answer was 2003. My second question was, why did you decide to convert to the rating? Because I didn't love material logistics, but I love personnel logistics and chance to help sailors reach their goals, because I never wanted to lead sailors as an LPR chief. It took me 10 years to convert because my chief said I would never make E6 and supply, so I had to prove him wrong. I then asked her, who converted to the NC? So my old school career counselor probably know his name. Vaughn Brickman, she gets sole credit, but others who played a role, everyone should know this person. Tom Albert, Field Master Pasqua, Rich O'Connell, and Chad Rhymes. I then asked her, I said, you joined the Navy in 1992, and the Navy opened up surface ships to females in 1993. How was that experience for you when you went on your first surface ship? She said, I was totally oblivious to the fact that I was a female until I reported to the USS Harper's Ferry. My first surface ship was literally a family. Male, female, officer, enlisted. We looked out for each other. In a few moments, you will witness the flag detail. This flag was also flown in honor of her re-enlistment on board the Harper's Ferry, and she kept it for this day. And what's so special is this flag was also flown on board the Harper's Ferry, and the flag detail consists of Harper's Ferry sailors. It's also been flown on Navy Personnel Command, and you may not know that she was referred as the Navy Career Counselor, Navy Diving and Salvage Training Center, and Navy School Explosive Ordnance Disposal. In other words, she said those two commands and her leadership and the chief's mess is why she is a master chief. No doubt.
No doubt.
Tanya and I made chief together in 2007, and we saw each other in passing through symposiums from time to time, but it wasn't until I was a fleet career counselor at U.S. Pacific Fleet is where we really connected during her time in Sasebo, Japan, on board the Bon Henry Shaw. We shared great times together, getting pack sailors designated, talking to her career development team, and we even shared emails, mainly voicing her concerns, especially on September 21st, 2016, when the Navy ratings went away. Boy, like did I tell you, there was a lot of emails that went unanswered. And now, if I could find those emails, I mean, she wrote me a diary, a novel. I mean, it could be like Amazon's bestseller. Phone calls with the voicemail, a lot of unread messages, because I knew it was Tanya. She was championing for her sailors and wanted to make it make sense for the NC community and the Navy. I was so happy to see her make Master Chief in 2015, and even more so happy when she got selected to opt now to be the Fleet Career Counselor. And I was so happy, and when it was my time to go back out to sea on the George W. Bush, I was like, Susan Garrett can't come quick enough. I'm ready to relieve Kim Lewis over to the George W. Bush because I couldn't take no more time. So I'm a backtrack a little bit. When we talk about these Navy ratings that went away, you know, I said, Tanya, I'm operating at 50,000 foot level. So she responded back, yeah. So when I get to the George W. Bush, we was changing the criteria for the retention excellence award. So I responded back to her, I'm on the ship. Time, I'm operating at the 50,000 foot level. We continue to keep in contact. And even when I decided to submit for my Command Master Chief package, she was the first person that I contacted, along with Randy Miller, because I wanted their confirmation. And I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate you for allowing me to leave the NC community, but I know it's only time for me to do that. Active duty and retired Navy counselors, can you guys please stand?
All right. All right.
The impact and the legacy that you are leaving behind, I can tell you the Navy Council is in a much better position than it was when you first got there at OpNam. And I appreciate all the hard work that you did up there. And I can tell you, man, you always had my back through the thick and thin. And these Navy Councils is not going to let you down. Shit maybe got to watch.
Man.
At this time, I would like to welcome our guest speaker, Colonel Crystal M. Hills, Brigade Commander, 405th Army Field Support Brigade, Germany.
All right.
First, let me say, we thank God for this day, and we thank the family and the friends that have made it here. As they stated, Latonya Luter, Master Chief Luter. It's going to be hard for me to keep saying Master Chief Latonya or Latonya because she's family, and so we call her by something else. Call her Tweety. Tweety. So if I say Tweety or Tweet, you know, I'm talking about Master Chief. But today is a good day. I remember in 98,
I was a sophomore in college, and the words out of my auntie's mouth, she said to the recruiter, "You better return her the way you took her out of this house." Auntie, she's back in better shape.
Amen.
And we thank the people that are in the room just for that, and the people that weren't able to be here today. But I have this saying, or like a mantra. So it's a simple thing that we believe in that kind of embodies who you are as a leader and as a person, and it involves the 5 Ps. So today I'll just take a little bit of your time to talk about the 5 Ps in reference to Master Chief Luter. I'm getting back. So people, all the people you see in this room today, all the people and lives that you know she's touched, people are at the forefront of what we do as leaders. And so I start with people. And I also start with family. You have to start with family because in the profession that we're in, we know that we can't do much of what we do for others if it wasn't for those that we leave at home sometimes, that send us off in the mornings or receive us back at home in the evenings because it's about family. So I'll start with James.
Oh.
James Luter. Everybody has a story. Only the story I'll tell about this union was that Tweety and I would write letters when she left home. And so I just left Washington, D.C. with her. First I stayed with her when I returned from Turkey. Well, I stayed with the family when I returned to Turkey for a few months. And then when the family moved down here, she moved in with me. And I kept telling her, Tweety, girl, you would not believe. Sorry, I'm going to die. Tweety, girl, you would not believe. I found letters from the 90s when we used to write when you were going through basic training, et cetera, et cetera. And so as soon as she pulls off, and I'll get to some of those other stories, but I go through a box because I'm trying to organize for my move, and I found a letter that she wrote to me. And she says, yeah, I said, so how's dating going? You know me, I'm still in high school. How's dating going? She's like, yeah, there are a few guys that are interested, but I'm not worried about that. I'm not really considering them. I'm thinking about settling down with a guy named James. Yeah, it's just something different about him.
Well, I better go and leave. She's about to get me. She's about to get me. I know. What's the
picture of that letter she wrote me, still in the same handwriting and everything, so you know it's authentic. But, you know, it says a lot about this union, about the man James is. And then I'll just read this one quote. And I'm quoting it, but this is what James told Tanya. As she considered, you know, do I continue to do this? Because, you know, he was also in the Navy, so that's where they met. But as she considered, you know, oh, I got to leave my family. I got my firstborn that she's so proud of. Let me figure this out. And what James told her, he said, whatever it is that you want to do in this Navy, do it. You have my support because when the DJ turns the lights on, it's over. So if you know anything about James,
we'll keep the music going.
I love music too. I call their house on Friday, Saturday night club.
That's right, Club Luter. That's right.
You don't understand. He also said, and you don't ever have to worry about us. We are good. Our family is good. I'll make sure that we are always good, no matter what. You just go do what you need to do, and I'll make sure you never have anything to worry about at home. James,
I'm gonna cry.
you.
I know. I'm hurt now. Thank you.
Thank you for being a godly man that you are, for being the head of your household, for raising your 2 beautiful, handsome, mature sons. So now to the sons. So we got James Q. And James Q, the same thing I remember when Tanya left that day to leave for the Navy. I came back into the country. Well, actually, I moved in with them. I was already back in the country. I moved in with them the day after James left for boot camp.
Mhm.
For boot camp. And again, she said, I'm glad you didn't come yesterday, because I was in a bad way. I said, really? And she was like, yeah, but you know, today is good. Because I know the man that I've raised. I know who I've sent into this world. And he's going to thrive. That's just what we do. That's just what we do. So thank you for being a mature son. Not giving your parents problems. And living up to your full potential and finding your way on your own. It's, you know, it's rare in today's society that we find a lot of kids that are willing to find their way on their own. You know, they have the foundation, and everybody in the room gives somebody a foundation. I don't have children, but I know I've laid the foundation for you. And so for them to take that and then find their way, it says a lot. So thank you for doing what you do, and thank you for serving our nation. Trent is my, we share the same birthday. That's my birthday today. This is a good day, Trent. This is a celebration. This Louisville. I gotta get him praise. But you can tell, like, Trent is such a sweetheart. And yeah, we share the same birthday. We have similar traits. That's a big heart. And alongside that big heart, he has a big brain. I don't know if you've ever had a conversation with Trent. He's speaking to you like he's in college. Okay, and then his responses to things, like, this look like he's telling me this. So it says a lot about this family, who they are, and as resilient children. So military children, they bounce around from schools to schools. They have to leave at very critical points in their lives, but they bounce back. And I know they're happy to be back here in Florida, where all their old friends are, and then back into a community. So Trent, keep shining, buddy. Keep shining. You have a bright future ahead.
My man.
He's already invested in stocks. Like, come on, Trent, tell me something. So family, again, that's the people aspect. If you were here yesterday, you heard a lot about how Tanya has invested in the individuals that are here. And it's so special to have a ceremony and have everyone have a very special part in your life that participate in the ceremony. Because we know as military members, it's not always that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I thank each of you for being here. I love hearing the stories yesterday. And there are a few people that couldn't be here. And so I got some testimonies from them about Tanya and her impact in the five areas of 5 P's. So for people, Kevin said, I thank God for introducing me to NCCM. Luter. The Navy is losing its greatest mentor, sister, and friend, with a little sad emoji. And then Josh said, Latonya took a personal interest in my career after our first personal meeting. She changed the trajectory of my career by making me her last NC conversion before retirement. She believed in me and felt that it was fated to happen when and how it happened. I'm proud to call her my friend and auntie. So again, that investment in people. And the investment in people is a reoccurring theme throughout the 5 P's, especially when it comes to Master Chief Luter. So the next P is performance. Performance oriented. As the LT said, she said when she got her initial email from Master Chief, it already told her what she expected in terms of performance. But Mietta said, when I think of Master Chief, I think of a quote I heard. There are 2 kinds of people in this world, those who build walls and those who build bridges. Learn from those who build walls but make long-lasting relations with those who build bridges. Master Chief is that person who built many bridges for all. I remember being faced with many obstacles and her showing me that instead of backing down, you step up into the face of adversity. Yes, showing me because she never expected a standard from you that she didn't expect from herself. She, along with many other great women leaders in the military, inspired me to stay Navy, to help in the fight of changing the paradigm for women aspiring to be more in the Navy. She taught me to challenge the norm, never fear failure, never accept defeat, allow my setbacks to build me, not break me. And most of all, work hard and allow it to speak for me. Master Chief, I wish you abundance of love as you pass the baton. Be at ease, knowing that your mentees will pick it up and stride into the finish line. So that says a lot. Again, the idea of stepping up to obstacles. Somebody mentioned that just here today, stepping up to obstacles, and that she never backed down from them. But the idea of picking up the baton and striding into the finish line, it leads me to a personal story. So, Tanya and I became really close because of track. So, Coach Vine says we both remember him vividly, but we both have a love for running. And she continues to run, although she has what she likes to call a mechanical foot. But she continues to run. And so that's one aspect of the physical fitness personally between us. And I would say she signed me up for distance. And then I tried to follow her lead doing the high jump, and it wasn't my thing. Like I don't have her height, so it wasn't my thing. But she also led many fitness programs for soldiers. Yesterday she shared a story of how she was hired when you came aboard. And that was because she was getting up early to lead the fitness programs for the soldiers aboard ships and even when she was ashore. It says a lot about her, and I look forward to her continuing her education in kinesiology and getting recertified to be a fitness instructor. So in retirement, that's what she wants to do. You know, the good life, the good life. All right, so that's performance. And then proactive. You have the people-oriented, performance-oriented, proactive. So Shanita says, Latonya, affectionately known as LT, is the epitome of a proactive leader because she's a listener, a nurturer, a supporter, and an advisor. In and out of uniform, people soldiers trust LT because she inspires confidence and commitment, but also will not hesitate to put somebody in their place when the situation requires some course corrections. LOL. So, I mean, proactive. We know that every now and then, we all require a little course correction. So don't be thin-skinned, take it in stride, and move out appropriately. Will also said, Latonya embodies proactive leadership. She has an innate ability to foresee possible difficulties and the brilliance to overcome the potential issue. I said it when I worked alongside her and say it now, no one does it better. Again, no one does it better. And that, the proactivity, the initiative, her willingness to step into adversity, stand up to difficult challenges. They said she didn't realize that she was a woman. Of course she realized she was a woman, but she didn't realize the difference in a workforce because she's from the House of Jills. So if you know anything about Tanya, or if you've been on her social media, what we call our family, the women in our family, we call ourselves the House of Jills. So you know the nursery rhyme, Jack built the house. Well, Jill built our house. And so we don't really understand those gender roles. For us, there was never a thing as a gender role. As you want something, you go out and you achieve it. And that's what Master Chief Luter has done in this 30-year career. Performance-oriented, proactive, professional. Professionalism is like the highest standard for me as a leader, as an individual, just to be professional. And Shanitra, she says, when you mention the name Latonya Luter, LT, the first thing that comes to mind is selfless, compassionate, loyal, inspirational leader and mentor who has opened so many doors for women, such as myself to take charge and lead from the front without hesitation. Every time I reached out to LT, she was always there for me regardless of the day and time, which meant the world to me. I will say this, LT is an amazing woman, leader, mentor, sister, and friend who will be missed greatly. Thank you for being part of my life and my career. I have the watch. And then Lacey wrote, Latonya is someone I look up to and try to emulate. Whether it be as a friend or a mentor, she has touched so many lives in a positive manner, including mine. But again, professionalism. You don't get that without having a professional flair about everything you do. She stated that she would stay up late on the ship in order to make the calls, not just send an email. Is email around? It was. But instead of using new technology at the time, she stated that she made those personal calls because it's a professional touch that goes behind everything that she does. Not to include when she's prepping to move, that proactiveness. So I love my cousin. And if you've ever had a home project, so yeah, I go between a professional and then I'll give you a personal story in between. But as I prep to leave, well, as she prepped to leave before me, let me go back. When I moved into the Luter home, the first thing you do, you get comfortable and you go in somebody's cupboards or their refrigerator. You know how the refrigerator looks? Mm-hmm. You know how anybody been there and see how the cupboards look? Dress right, dress. And she gonna do just like this, yes, dress right, dress. But she knows when something's gone. She knows when it's time to replenish. She knows when Trent needs his Rice Krispie snacks that wasn't there today when I came. So proactive. When it came to prepping for her to leave, she's like, oh no, cuz I'm already on that. I already packed up this stuff right here. I already got Jade's and Trent's stuff put to a side. This, that, and I'm like, dang, I need some help when it's time for me to leave. I got you. I don't have this. Everybody has different skills, and everybody's better in something. And when I tell you, I totally, and this is not even at the slightest, I totally appreciated Tweety when she came to stay with me. I mean, I had to throw a fit, literally. A grown woman, I had to throw a fit for her to leave me alone so I could go to sleep because she was still helping me organize stuff, preparing for my move. My move, not even her move. But again, this is how she is. When she's in her zone, she is in her zone. And it's value added. It is value added. So that proactiveness and the professionalism, it goes inside for her work and in personal. But it makes her who she is. Positivity. It's infectious, and I end with positivity because, I mean, look at the room. Look at the energy within this room from the beginning. But Destiny said, during my first deployment in 2020, Master Chief Luter sent me a care package. I wasn't expecting anything from her. I know she asked for my contact information prior to me leaving, but you know, people ask for your info, but never sent anything. Well, in this package, she sent me a t-shirt, a note, and a few other things. But this t-shirt stood out to me. A simple saying, Chief ain't easy. I am a NC1. So this Destiny was an NC1. And this was the first time someone in my community gave me hope during the roughest deployment in my life. The simple saying is not just about rank, but about attitude, dedication, and mentorship provided by those that hold the rank and title of chief. I may not be there yet, but the shirt and note continue to push me to be who I am as a sailor, always performing at my best of my ability. One day, I'll be able to wear that shirt proudly, and I hope she'll be there to see it. And then one more quote. Oh no, no more quotes. But, positivity. So despite what you see of Tanya standing here today, being very outward and public, she's a very private person. She doesn't like the spotlight. She just wants to see everybody else in the spotlight excelling to their highest abilities. And at the end of the day, you've done that. But today, you're going to be in the spotlight. This is your day to shine. Tweety could not be more proud of you. Last year when I came to her re-enlistment, and although she credits herself for being a consummate professional, she did try to have me re-enlist her in her living room. I don't know, she probably thought, oh, Army does things different. Maybe we're real strict and we have all these protocols to go along with our ceremonies, and I absolutely love it. I've been immersed in this Navy culture. I want to join the chief mess. But yeah, she tried to pull a quick one on me. She said, hey, cuz, I know you come on the billboard for class. If you can just slip over here after me and the family, you can re-enlist me. I said, oh, no, ma'am. We're not doing that. We're going to do it right. If this is your last re-enlistment, you're going to do it right. And I tell you, it was a treat to re-enlist her then, and it is a pleasure to see you retire today, or as Serena Williams says, the evolution.
Evolution. That's right. That's right.
Exactly what it is. She's having a good life. She's already evolved. At one point, I didn't know Tweety was going to leave the Navy.
Yeah.
Ooh, y'all. I've never experienced that energy that she has. But it says something. And although she tried to kind of throw shade at my branch, because I'm an Army logistician, and she started in supply saying that she didn't love it. Well, I love logistics, thank you. But she absolutely loves what she does. There's a difference. You see it every day. So the the Navy, our joint force, we're losing a great one today.
That's right.
But the evolution begins. So, Team Luter, I'm excited
Hoorah.
for you. I'm excited for this next chapter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Colonel Hill will now present Mr. James Luter and their sons, James Q. and Trenton, with certificates of appreciation. Mr. Luter, James Q. and Trenton, please join Colonel Hill in front of the stage. Certificate of appreciation from the United States Navy to all who shall see these presents. Greetings.
Greetings.
This is to certify that James C. Luter has earned grateful appreciation for his unselfish, faithful, and devoted service during his wife's naval career. His unfailing support and understanding helped to make this possible. His wife's lasting contribution to the nation. Given his first day of September 2022, Vice Admiral John B. Noel, Jr., United States Navy, Chief of Naval Personnel. Certificate of appreciation from the United States Navy to all who shall see these presents. Greetings.
Greetings.
This is to certify that Trenton C. Luter, James Q. Luter has earned grateful appreciation for his selfish, faithful, and devoted service during his mother's naval career. Your unfailing support and understanding helped to make possible your mother's lasting contribution to the nation. Given his first day by September 2022, signed by Vice Admiral John B. Noel, Jr., United States Navy, Chief of Naval Personnel.
You ready to sign up, buddy?
Ladies and gentlemen, Senior Chief Jackson will now read a tribute to the late Quentin Neal Henderson.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Quentin Neil Henderson, Latonya's great uncle, a Vietnam veteran whose greatest accomplishment was serving on the USS Manly as a student. The world tour was one to remember. During the 60s, African American men had many limitations to what they could do in the military. Yet, Mr. Henderson was proud to serve. He served 30 honorable years within the Navy and Marine Corps combined. The Corps was short-lived, but he did what many think of his time. He had an 8th grade education, but was doing military. Before his mid-20s, accepting whatever came his way with steadfast devotion. He retired in Charleston, South Carolina in July 1983. Mr. Henderson achieved his success because he lived well, sacrificed much, and lived unconditionally. It was his service and proud as a sailor that inspired Latonya to choose the Navy and do all things Mr. Henderson could not. He is honored. We honor him today and always.
Amen.
Chief Ponder will now grace us with Lift Every Voice.
All right, all right.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Bring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the glistening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has brought us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has taught us. Facing the rising sun, oh, my new day begun. Let us march on, let us march on, let us march on till victory is won.
Woo!
Boy, I wish I had some help in here. That girl saying doggone eyes sweating. Senior Chief Retired Royster will now read the Chief Petty Officer Retirement Creed.
Right, all right.
Will all chief petty officers, past and present, please stand? You have on this day experienced that which comes to all of us who serve on active duty in our Navy. I say our Navy because your departure from active duty in no way terminates your relationship. By law and Do not view your retirement as an end to an era, but rather as orders to a new and challenging assignment, to a form of independent duty. Remember well that you have been and will always be an accepted member of the most exclusive of all fraternities, that of a U.S. Navy Chief Petty Officer.
Hoorah.
Active duty chiefs salute you. And salute. Ready? 2. And your retired chiefs welcome you. I wish you the traditional fair winds and followers these. Navy Chief!
Navy pride.
Navy Chief!
Navy pride.
Navy Chief!
Navy pride!
She's already up here on my pension. It's crazy how I met her. We were on the USS Shenandoah. And I actually met her through somebody. But somehow her and I became good friends. I don't know. So I have a James story.
Just a good one now. Just a good one.
I was new to that, boyfriends on other ships. I didn't get it. So she used to always talk about this guy, James. James this, James that, James gonna be there. This is month. I guess he was on a deployment.
That's right. G-Dub, baby. G-Dub.
I was like, there is no James.
No, yeah. No lie. Already, man.
But I do have the honor and the privilege to introduce my mentor, my friend, my support system. Like, she is my best friend. I don't know when we became best friends, but we've been
Best friend.